Stacy here with Limelight AZ. I wanted to do a quick video today because, as you already probably know, I'm going to be starting the bee venom therapy in about 2 weeks. It honestly seems to be, in my opinion, the best therapy out there that it's available thus far. And I think it's still got a lot of potential, more than we even realize so far. But there's so much that I am looking forward to that I am banking on this bee venom therapy. And I know that I'm new to Lyme and that disappointment tends to be kind of the norm within the Lyme community, that you get started on something and it doesn't work, and then you go on and move on to the next thing and it works for a little while and then it doesn't work anymore, or it's causing other problems, and it's just this constant yo-yo of situations, going from one therapy to the next. And I know that I'm still kind of green to the I didn't even mean it like that. Yeah, Lyme is green. But I'm still kind of new to the whole Lyme world, and I haven't really experienced much, and I might be going at this with a newbie type spirit and the not defeated, which I've seen so much in the messages on the different groups and stuff where people just feel defeated. I don't want to get there. I want to continually be optimistic, and hope for the next good thing in my life. And even if that means that I have to continue living with Lyme symptoms for the rest of my life. But my hope is that the bee venom therapy will actually take care of it. And I don't expect it to be a miracle right away. I have heard about people basically going from bedridden to being able to go back to work within 2 to 3 months. That would be awesome. But I am not, that's not what I am banking on. I'm not banking on a quick turnaround like that. I hope that within a year from the time that I start, that there's a big turnaround and a big change from where I am today. I mean, gosh, yeah, there's a lot more that could possibly happen to me. But I've been bedridden since January. Here it is almost June. And so that's 6 months of being in bed. I've lost a lot of muscle mass. It's excruciating to walk. I mean, just trying to stand on my feet, it feels like, I can't even describe it. I think I'd rather walk on rocks. It just is painful, and which adds to me being bedridden because my feet are painful. It hurts for me to sit up for very long. I don't usually last much more than 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. By 20 minutes, I'm hurting pretty bad from the knee area to the tailbone area. That whole area, when I'm sitting, it just starts hurting. The best way I can describe that is if you've ever ridden a bike and had the seat kind of get jammed up into your butt area and made the muscles in that area hurt. That's how that whole area hurts on me, from my knee to my tailbone, when I'm just sitting. And so I end up, like when we go to church on Friday nights, I end up sitting for a little bit and then standing and sitting and standing and alternating between the two. That's the only way I can make it through. I am bedridden the rest of the week. Church is the only thing that I have been leaving for at this point. I mean, I'm not seeing a doctor, so I don't need to get out for doctor's appointments. So that's the one thing that I really kind of drag myself out of the house for at this point. Which, by the way, I'm going to put down in the comments, is a fantastic sermon from my church. It was the first night that we attended, and that was only a couple of weeks ago, because, like, as you're probably aware, we're new to the area, and we found a church that we just love. We are Torah observant or Messianic, and so if you hear them saying, I think he says Christ's name, which is Yeshua in Hebrew, and but that sermon was just phenomenal, and I swear it was directed at me. I was in tears so many times that night, and that was partly how I knew that this was our new home for church. but I really think it was directed at the whole Lyme community. So I definitely want to share that message, and I don't want you to miss out. It's the Remarkably Regal message. And it wasn't until about halfway through that I really kind of was like, oh, hey, this message is for me. And then it just started. It was like home run after home run. It was just one thing after another. I am jumping all around. So I wanted to talk about the things that I've been experiencing. That way I can go back in a year and be like, yeah, these things did change. And then I also want to talk about the things that I am looking forward to. So to finish up with the things that I'm experiencing, I still have stiffness. Like that is me closing my hand. That is as far as I can get it. So I'm going to focus on my hand. Maybe not. But I mean, like, I can't close my hand any more than that. I can touch my thumb. That's about it. That's about as far as I can. It's like that on both hands. Trying to grip things, like putting things in between my thumb and my fingers. If I pick up anything, even something remotely small, then it hurts to just try to grip it. Trying to put pills in my hand, I have to make sure, like, this hand is already positioned like this. I can't just pick up pills and then stick them in my mouth without it hurting. And even if I am able to do that and ignore the pain, then I can't do more than one pill. So I am looking forward to having use of my hands. But yeah, so I'm dealing with the hand issues. My elbow, this right one in particular, has like some sort of bursa issue going on with it. My left side of my face, the lymph node on the left side of my neck has been swollen, and it's been like that pretty much from the get-go. I've had a couple of times where it cleared up briefly, but it's pretty much been like that from the get-go from January. But recently it started putting pressure on my ear over the course of a couple weeks, and I was ignoring it, and then it just got to a point where I couldn't ignore it anymore. It was actually becoming painful. And I ended up taking homeopathy to try to take the pressure out of my ear. So thankfully that worked. That was a couple of nights ago. I'm still continuing on it just in case. That way I can make sure to get rid of it, because I am avoiding antibiotics at like all costs. I want to start the bee venom therapy without having to backtrack. And if I go on antibiotic for any reason, then I'm going to end up backtracking with the gut issues and stuff like that. So I'm really trying to avoid that. Some more issues that I've been having a lot of trouble with my left arm. It's not exactly the shoulder. It's like just below the shoulder, right about that area. And it feels like it's disconnected, or sometimes it'll snap and hurt. Can't lift my arms up very high on both arms. And then my right side has been starting to have some of those same issues with the snapping and just being painful. My right knee is still pretty well swollen. It's about double the size of my left knee. My left knee feels like it's trying to start having issues, but it's not swollen at this point. Mentioned earlier, trying to walk. I look like an old lady trying to walk. I've been using a walker for, I don't know, a week and a half or so, and thankfully it kind of got to me just in time, because I really need it at this point. I am not able to walk very well, and I'm very, very unsteady. All my bones, like in the joint area, it feels like the cartilage is just not there anymore. I've heard that the Lyme really, really likes the cartilage, and so it tends to kind of attack that first. But I have somebody knocking at the door. Okay, so cartilage. So the cartilage it just feels like it's pretty much gone in between all of my joints. It feels like bone grinding and bone, which doesn't feel very good. I'm really hoping that gets replenished here pretty quickly. When I try to stand up, it often takes me more than one try. In fact, most of the time it takes me more than one try. It's very rare that I get it actually off my tush and standing upright in one try. I have to build up momentum to get myself upright, and then once I'm on my feet, I have to straighten out, which is very painful and time consuming. And so those are all kind of the ailments. I also deal with the headaches on occasion. Of course, as you know, I'm taking a leave to try to relieve some of the inflammation in my brain that's been causing suicidal tendencies. So, I'm just sort of a mess. I've been bedridden now since January. I don't function very well. I'm very emotional a good portion of the time. It's just, I'm just a mess. It could be worse, and I'm thankful that it's not. But those are all kind of the things I wanted to document that I've been dealing with. Oh, and bladder issues, which I don't really want to go into detail about, but I'll just put out there. So what are the things that I'm looking forward to? The number one thing that I'm looking forward to is being able to pick up my baby. She will be a year and 1 month on the 5th, which is less than a week. And I have not been able to pick her up since January. So we're talking for like half her life. I've not been able to pick up my baby. And that is crushing. At this point, I've weaned her. I was nursing. I've weaned her. She's been weaned now for about a month and a half, 2 months completely, where she hasn't nursed at all. And because of my lack of mobility in my hands and being able to pick her up, strength issues. I definitely have strength issues with my legs and my arms. But because I can't deal with her like you would normally deal with babies, picking them up and playing with them, she's stronger than I am, and she hurts me frequently when I try to play with her. And it's crushing. And I mean, she's my baby, and she's growing quickly. All my kids are. And I want to be able to hold her and play with her. And at this point, she'll give me kisses and stuff, and she'll play for a little bit, but then she starts getting too rough for me. And now when she gets upset, she doesn't even want me. And that is heartbreaking. She wants daddy or she wants grandma because they're the ones that are taking care of her. So being able to pick her up and console her and not have it hurt me or not have it be so physically overwhelming that I just can't do it. That's probably my number one thing. Number two is I want to be less, less crabby with the kids. I have a very low tolerance for them right now. And I don't like that. I'm a huggy, get on the floor, play with the kids type parent. And I haven't been for half a year now. And so I want to be able to take them to the zoo. I want to be able to do homeschool with them without feeling like I'm going to completely lose my mind just because of the Lyme. Not because of the homeschool, but just because of the Lyme. I want to be able to make dinner. I am eating better than I was prior to the Lyme, but it's not where I want to be, but it's a lot to ask my mom to do. She's already taken care of 2 older kids, a baby, and me, and making me food all the time too, because I can't sit out there to do it. And so I would like to be able to make meals and healthy meals that will be healthy for the whole family. I would like to not be so emotional with my husband that I keep having like these random outbursts of frustration and anger and upset and tears. It's gotten better since I've been on the leave. A lot better. I mean, especially since the suicidal thoughts are gone. But I don't want to be that person. I want to be me again. And I want to be able to sit up for videos without it taking a huge toll on me, I had 2 of my lifelong best friends here yesterday, and I sat up for a little bit with them, but then the whole rest of the time that they were here, I was laying down. I want to be able to socialize. I want to be able to um, do the things that I enjoy. I want to be able to sew. I want to be able to go and take walks with the kids. There's so much I want to do, and that my body is just not cooperating right now. Um, so those are the things that I'm looking forward to, that I really hope that the bee venom therapy will give back to me, is to be able to have just the normal things. I don't even need it to be extraordinary. I don't need to go bungee jumping, and I don't need to go skydiving or, like, rock climbing or any of these extremely strenuous things. I'm okay just having a normal life and a normal body that works. So those are the things I'm looking forward to, and the things that I'm dealing with now that I hope will be just a distant memory in 2 years. So I think that's about it. I say so a lot tonight. Have a good night and be blessed.